Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, the 10th of September. There is Mr. Brown. Let's invite him. Invitation sent. Come on down, Mr. Brown. Connecting. Muted.
Morning, Ryan. Good morning, all.
Good morning. Let me just get the
blimey.
legals out the way. Nothing discussed on the Spaces session. Hang on. You right there?
Yeah, I've just come down some stairs, so
Just the
I'm
bones
just having a rest while you do your legal disclaimer.
Got ya. Nothing discussed on this Spaces session constitutes trading or investment advice or refers to any kind of endorsement by PIQ Global Limited Traders, PIQ or PIQ Suite, or indeed its affiliates or its hosts, which is Mr. Brown, who is aging badly, and myself, which is just not aging, Mr. Ryan Paisley.
Certainly not mentally, are you?
Well, no, definitely not. If anything, going in reverse. Can I just ask, 10%? I know this is going to sound like a really oldie person comment now, but 10th of September, where's the fucking year gone?
Oh, mate. Also, 10th of September, it's fucking freezing.
hello.
I left home.
Oh, mate, I put the heating on yesterday.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
I was tempted. I mean, I was stood there waiting for the train at 5:30 this morning, shivering on the bloody platform. It's horrible.
Subtle, like little subtle brag there that you put in a proper effort in the city. Good man, good man.
UK
Anyway.
data at 7, mate. Got to be at your desk.
Well, exactly. This is it, right? I'm still in my pants. I still am now, to be honest. But go on.
Well,
Go on, what happened
at least you're
yesterday?
in something, I guess. But anyway, we won't go down that route.
I'm started already.
God,
It's only Tuesday.
It's only going to get
Moving
worse.
on.
Right. In terms of yesterday, then. Good morning, everybody. Good. In terms of yesterday, it was very much a case of no news is good news for the financial markets, with sentiment firmer once more after the tumultuous ride that we had after the jobs report on Friday. But it must be said that this sort of firmer risk tone came amid a real lack of any top-tier economic or major headlines crossing news wires. But nonetheless, the S&P 500 did end the day around 1.25% higher, the Nasdaq notching a similar gain, while treasuries sold off across the curve with some pressure mainly concentrated at the front end, where two-year yields rose by 3 basis points, briefly trading north of 3.7%. And really this kind of theme of unwinding some of the moves that we saw on Friday continued into the FX space as well, with the dollar rallying by 0.4% against a basket of peers as the dollar index rose to a 101.70 high, and other G10s all traded broadly softer, with the euro, the pound, and the yen all down by around 0.4%, and the Swissy standing as the biggest loser on the day. In the commodity space, gold up by 1/3%, but we're still just kind of chopping around this $2,500 an ounce figure, and not really going anywhere. Still very, very indecisive when you look at the price action in the yellow metal. And crude, lastly, trading around 1.4% firmer yesterday. WTI, the front contract, notching its best performance in 10 sessions. As I alluded to, data and news flow relatively light. The only data release that we had yesterday was the monthly New York Fed consumer survey. That showed that one-year inflation expectations rose to 3% from a prior 2.97%. If anyone on the call thinks that consumers can predict inflation to 2 decimal places, then give your head a wobble, because they can't.
Or I'll go, just fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. So that data caused
we
absolutely...
love you all. We love you all. I joke. I jest. We love you all. Thank you for listening.
That data caused absolutely no market impact whatsoever. Also causing very little by way of market impact was Apple's annual product launch. They launched a new watch, which looks exactly the same as the last one. They've launched some new AirPods, which look exactly the same as the ones that are in my ears right now.
I disagree. They come in different colours now.
Oh, do they? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, mine are white, so maybe I can change that.
Well, it's a bit blue for you, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. They also launched a new iPhone. Of course, this is the iPhone 16. It has a new button. Wow! Which apparently does something to do with the camera. It also comes with Apple Intelligence, although this Apple AI thing is not going to come with the iPhone 16 at launch. It's going to come as part of a software update later on, and also it's
I'm
not going to be a
getting on that note. I was getting very last night when I was obviously I said when we were tweeting. Well, when my little Sherpas were tweeting all the updates from this, and I literally, to me it was news as I was reading it, as like same with everyone else. I did get the vibe of like Tesla and Elon Musk with his full self driving. It's like yeah, it's coming, it's coming. Just buy it
yeah.
now though, it's coming.
Very much so, and also it's not going to be available in the EU. It's not going to be available in China to start with. So yeah, Apple need to sort out some regulatory issues before that happens.
But buy it now.
Exactly. Buy it now is the hope. But reading some of the sell side commentary, it does appear that expectations have been tempered, and the general vibe is that yesterday's event was a bit of a damp squib. A couple of other headlines from yesterday, and before I go through these, don't worry, you haven't woken up in 2018, but it is the return of a couple of famous central bankers. The first is Mario Draghi, who announced his
Yeah,
review
Super Mario.
into, indeed, who announced his
Super
review
Mario.
into the EU's competitiveness or lack of competitiveness
Yeah.
yesterday. All very, very familiar stuff, effectively calling for more integration within Europe and within the EU. Debt issuance, capital markets union with a single regulator, etc., etc., etc. He was also saying that the EU needs to spend a total of 750 billion euros extra per year in order to compete on a global level, which, I mean, they're never going to do that. So I think he's
Well,
effectively just admitting
is it?
defeat at that
Well,
point.
there's two things I noted on this. So yesterday, it dawned on me, and I think I deserve more credit, unless someone else said it before me. But like MMT, that whole thing that everyone gets giddy for. Does it stand for Magic Money
Yes,
Tree?
but it may as well.
Exactly. I thought that was quite good for me. And secondly, it was very much the whatever it takes vibes from Draghi, which, yeah, I guess a lot of people listening to the show and a lot of people, unfortunately, trading are probably too young to remember whatever it takes, but it was a good time.
Yeah, it was those vibes, but I guess the difference is that he doesn't actually have to deliver it this time. He can just write a 200 odd page
Oh, mate.
report and then go,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
I'm off again, back to my villa.
Well, exactly. Also, it was his
The
birthday last week as well, so he just wants to get in the paper.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Well,
that.
I'm a bit
The
that I just oh shit, I just kind of like let go that well, let slip that I might be a little bit of a nerd.
Well, we knew that anyway. The other central banker that made a comeback yesterday was the unreliable boyfriend himself, Mark Carney.
Yeah.
He is going to become an economics advisor to Canadian Prime
Oh,
Minister
brilliant.
Justin Trudeau. The context around this is actually quite important. Of course, Mark Carney has been aiming to get into politics pretty much since he left the BOE. Some would say maybe even while
Oh
he was
yeah,
at the
I was gonna
BOE.
say that.
Let's be honest. But the Canadian political backdrop is a very fragile one. Of course, Trudeau's coalition partners said that their unconditional support for him now has gone, and they're going to decide sort of on a case by case basis. Elections are due by October next year. It looks like those elections could end up happening early. When those elections do happen, it seems that the Liberals are going to be effectively wiped out, almost like what happened to the Conservative Party here, with the Canadian Conservative Party likely to take power. When that does happen, Trudeau will obviously have to resign, and it very much seems like Mark Carney is the front runner
Oh,
to take over
oh,
as leader of the Canadian Liberal Party, which of course could then pave his way to become Canadian Prime Minister when the 3 year parliamentary term
ugh.
expires. So he is very, very much on manoeuvres with this economics advisor role, and it's not going to take particularly long for him to go from advisor to leader. You would imagine we're going to be hearing a lot more from him over the next few years. Joy of joys.
Oh,
But that's pretty much it in terms of yesterday. Relatively light.
well, you put me in a foul mood thinking of Mark Carney leading a country, but thank you for that.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. So just some quick headlines. Well, I don't know what that was. Some quick headlines. Yeah, no, do you
Headline.
know it was because I was rolling on my chair and I rolled over my toe. Sorry.
Sounded like open all hours art right from this.
No,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
rolled over my toe and I tried styling it out, and obviously, quite obviously, it went all wrong.
Didn't work.
So it's some headlines by our friends at News Squawk. Geopolitical headlines, starting in the Middle East as always, because it's a barrel of laughs over there. We have news that as the Israeli military detained a convoy of UN vehicles as they entered in the northern area of the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military also said it conducted an airstrike which targeted Hamas command center in Khan Yunis. President Biden was reported to convene his national security team to discuss the impasse in negotiations on the hostage deal. Just a reminder there that it seems to be US and every other country, bar Hamas group and Israel, are keen on the ceasefire deals, but obviously we need those two key parties to be involved, and at the moment they ain't. We've had some airports in Moscow have had to stop flights due to nearby drone attacks. And moving further afield, I won't do an impression of him, but Kim Jong Un, leader of North Korea, said they must prepare North Korea's nuclear capability and readiness to use it properly at any given time, while they're implementing a nuclear force construction policy to increase the number of warheads. So yeah, great stuff from our friend Kim. Just a couple of things to note from our other friend, a true friend, Andrew Hart, who is listening in. Hi, Andrew, from his awesome daily note. So he's noted the recessionary red flag, which is a reminder from David Rosenberg that the current 2-year versus Fed funds is a 150 basis point inversion, exactly the same as it was in November 2007, just as the official MBER recession recession technicality was reached, a recession the Fed had no idea was coming. So that's just something, one flag for those recession watchers out there. I've said before, so I'm going to say it again, that if the market all of a sudden determines, or if it's officially announced that it's a recession, it doesn't really mean anything in my opinion. If we hit a recession officially, it means we've already been in one for a while. Markets don't turn just on the news that it is a recession. It's more.
Can I?
Go on.
I was just going to say, I haven't read Mr. Hart's note just yet. I've been on the phone most of the morning, but I will momentarily. Has David Rosenberg ever been bullish about anything? Because he does like these bearish charts and commentary that he puts out. And that's obviously such a shocking allegation that you've now ended up to mute yourself.